Hey, Black Belt reads. I've been in a Star Wars mood lately. I've been watching Star Wars. I've been reading a lot of Star Wars. And I wanted to share, I guess, my opinion where you could start if you've never read any Star Wars, if you've only seen the movies. Maybe you're not real excited about the last few years of Star Wars. The most recent trilogy was not very well received. A lot of the Disney Plus shows haven't been very well received. That's okay though. You can go back and read older Star Wars comics and books, and I think a really great place to start is going to be Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now, this has been confirmed to be reprinted, so if you want the big physical omnibus like this, you can get it, or you can just read it online. You don't have to buy the physical books. This is the Dark Horse stuff. This is going to be like as old, way back as you're going to get. This is like thousands of years before episode one. So this is a huge book and it's great. It's a perfect place to start if you've never read any Star Wars comics or anything like that. So I'm going to talk about the first issue just to sell you on the book a little bit. You've got this guy right here, Zane. He is a Padawan, a young, hopeful Jedi. And he's kind of a screw up. He's always getting in trouble. He's always late. He's messing up a lot. So, in the first issue, he's supposed to meet his masters and have a meeting, but he's late. He screws up and he's late. When he shows up, he walks in, and all of the fellow young Jedi, it's actually a picture of it right here on the back, they're all dead, and the masters are standing over them. It's just such a way to It's such a good way to start the series. He walks in and he's like, "Oh crap! What did I just walk into? They're all dead, and his masters are standing over them." And so he runs away. He gets blamed for it, and it just sets off the whole book. And that's just the first issue. So it's great. It's really good. This is gonna be the Old Republic, like the games. If you like the Star Wars video games, Knights of the Old Republic, this is kind of that time period. So I think that's a great place to start. If you are more into actual novels, we're going to go on the very opposite end. And this is actually going to be Heir to the Empire. This is going to be after Return of the Jedi. So, after the original trilogy, what happens to Luke and Han and Leia and all of them? Just forget about the most recent sequel trilogy. Let's just pretend that didn't happen, and instead go read Heir to the Empire. This is going to be the introduction of Thrawn. So this is the Thrawn trilogy. After you read this, you can read book 2 and book 3 and get that full trilogy. This is such a great place to read Star Wars if you've never read any of the extended universe stuff. I consider this one of the best ones. So you follow Luke and Han and Leia and Lando, and you're going to get some new characters introduced that are really fascinating. Of course, Thrawn. You've also got Mara Jade. So if you don't know who these characters are, this is a great introduction for them. And yeah, this is really good stuff. So if you're more into novels rather than comics, I would say Heir to the Empire. Now for me, my favorite thing about Star Wars is Darth Vader. I love the story of Anakin and Vader, and there's a lot of really good comics. So this is going to be the Kieran Gillen omnibus. This may be out of print. I'm sure you can find trades and stuff, or you can just read it online. It'll probably get reprinted though, but I have to put it on the list because it's basically my favorite Star Wars thing ever. I mean, these are basically just stories about Darth Vader in between the episodes of the movies. If you think about it, you know, Revenge of the Sith, it's like years and years between that and episode 1, this is sort of what happens at that time. This might be between episodes 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. I can't remember because I have several of these on the list. But the Kieran Gillen Star Wars stuff is great. You're going to get introduced to Dr. Aphra, which is a really fun character who has her own version of C3PO and R2D2, but they're like evil versions. They're like murder bots, murder droids. Really fun, really good stuff. If you are into the comics, definitely check out Kieran Gillen's Vader and also the follow-up, Charles Soule's Darth Vader run. This is, again, another short omnibus that may potentially be out of print, but you can read it online pretty easily for free, or just pick up the trades or something. And these are great books. These are equal in my estimation. The Gillen and the Soule run are both really, really good. Together like that on your shelf. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Darth Vader. I love the story of Vader, Anakin, all that. So, after you read those, you've got Greg Pak's Darth Vader. Now, this is definitely still in print. You can pick up these trades very cheap or read it online, and it's great. I have the first 2 right here just because I didn't want to grab everything off my shelf. But yeah, these are amazing. The art in this stuff is incredible. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. I love the Vader stuff. It's just so, so good. And Greg Pak's run at the time is like ongoing. So there's a ton of these. And there's like 15 of these trades for Greg Pak. I'm sure there will be an Omni at some point. But if you are more into horror, I got a good one. Death Troopers. So this is like, what if someone wrote a Star Wars horror novel? As you can tell by the cover there, it's kind of like a take on a zombie outbreak. This is a really, really fun, scary Star Wars book, and it takes place on one of those big Star Destroyers where an outbreak is like taking over, making things like zombies. It's really, really fun, and it's got a few characters that you will recognize from the Star Wars movies. That was really fun for me when I read that. You're gonna know them and love them and be so excited when they show up in the book. So yeah, you've got the way back Old Republic, the newer Heir to the Empire stuff with Thrawn, little horror taste. I know I have a lot of horror fans out there that watch these videos. And then my personal favorite is the Darth Vader stuff. I could have put so much more stuff on the list, but you've got Jason Aaron's Star Wars. You've got all of the Darth Bane and Darth Plagueis novels that are really good. So there's a lot of options for Star Wars. For me, this would be my recommendation. Heir to the Empire, if you like novels. Old Republic, if you like comics. And if you want to try something different, Star Wars horror, check out Death Troopers. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. May the Force be with you.